Hello.
Hey, it's the Marc and JD podcast coming to you live. It's like drive time, afternoon.
Monday.
On the afternoon drive, it's Marc and JD.
Monday on at 4 p.m. It's kind of weird, but
Bunch
we're
of
here.
wacky sound effects, like tooting the horn.
You can tell it's
sound effects here.
You can tell it's Monday during the week, like when we're doing shit. Like it's my room. The room's a mess because we're like in the middle of doing laundry and stuff. So there's shit everywhere.
My background never changes. There might be a mess everywhere else, but right here, never. It's just pretty steady right there. Okay.
There's nothing I can do to change my background right now.
Whatever.
Other than,
who cares?
I don't know. It's whatever. It just looks like we live
Nobody
here.
Cares. It just looks bright and sunny.
It does. I open up the windows. Now I look like I belong here, not just like I'm in a cave.
Oh, I'm in a cave. That's where I technically almost am. I am underground.
That's kind of weird. What if the house just collapsed one day while you were on TV?
On me?
Mm-hmm. Be an interesting podcast.
It would be an interesting podcast, wouldn't it?
Yes.
There's the least amount of stuff directly over me, so I think I'd be okay.
Maybe.
Most of our bedroom there's no basement under there, so I think that part would be okay. It would just fall into the living room, and then there's nothing under the living room.
Fair enough. So your house would just collapse, but you'd be okay. It'd be fine.
I'd be probably fine. They probably had to pull me from the rubble, and I'd probably just,
couple broken
took
bones.
You so long, assholes,
Couple broken bones.
I never broken a bone, by the way. I've never broken a bone.
I never have either.
Oh, Broken Bones Club. It's funny,
I'm sure
I don't drink milk, so I'm sure my bones aren't that strong. Or maybe they are.
Milk when I make eggs, cereal, that's about it.
Coffee?
No. Creamer.
You drink coffee black?
No, I drink with creamer. I mean, I guess it could be dairy creamer. I don't know.
Usually it's non-dairy creamer, but there is some dairy and non-dairy creamer. I don't know how that works, but it does. You're like half and half, or like one of them little things.
We have.
I'm sure it comes in a bigger thing for
like French vanilla or peppermint mocha or some shit like that.
Peppermint mocha is good shit, man.
What is somebody just commented on our YouTube and it says Vored.
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of those lately. I don't know what that is.
It's spam.
I saw it. It's definitely spam.
Spam, and more spam. What else is new?
I don't get it. Whatever. Anywho, I have something I want to talk about. Okay. I said I was going to talk to you about it. It happened yesterday to me, and I was going to talk to you yesterday. You know what? Let me save this for the podcast because it needs. There's a 2-minute long explanation here. Okay, it wouldn't convey through text. I don't think it requires the proper output. Here.
I feel like you just created a new word.
Probably
convexed.
So, anyway, so I actually have a diagram to go along with my.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Well, it makes it easier to explain. Okay, so we're at Sam's Club, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
your first mistake.
What?
That was your first mistake.
Well, not really. We're going to get stuff, And we're going to leave, and we get. I don't know if he's like, you go to the cafe, you get something, a little snack for the road, a drink or whatever. So we get frozen yogurts because they're good.
Mm-hmm.
They have the whatever.
Yeah.
We get out, and it was really warm yesterday, and the wife is like, she's holding both of them, and I'm pushing the cart and loading the car. She starts dripping on her hand. Like, it's just melting really, really fast. And she's like, shit, can you help me? And I'm like, okay. I'm trying to load up the cart. So as we're doing this whole thing, she notices a car. Okay. She's like, I think they're waiting for our spot. Okay, let me load up the screen here. Okay. So here's my whiteboard. Here's my fantastic drawing. My fantastic. There's Sam's Club. Oh, I forgot to put where we are. We're here. Okay. So
Just point it with the mouse.
We're here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're here in this spot. Okay.
Okay.
So we're loading up. This car is waiting, just sitting there. Okay. This spot is open. This spot is open. This spot is open. Waiting. And I'm whatever. I don't know. Maybe he's waiting for somebody. I'm taking my time. I'm going to enjoy my yogurt because it's going to melt by the time I get home. So I just sit in the car, put the windows down and just enjoy my yogurt. Out of 5 minutes passes and he finally decides that he's going to park in this spot here. He backs in. I'm like, all right, I guess he's just whatever. The whole time I'm like watching him, he doesn't get out of his fucking car. I'm just sitting there eating the yogurt. The kid's in the back seat drinking his slushy, whatever. Finally decided to leave. And my wife's like, we should circle around, see if he does something weird. I'm like, okay, let's do that. And then there was a car here. So I couldn't really go the way I wanted to go. So I go to leave and I go really slow. I pull out this way. I'm just going really slow down this lane here. And I'm watching in my rear view the whole time. Motherfucker gets out of the spot, comes over, and parks in my spot.
What the fuck?
There's literally nobody else in this whole time has parked in these other fucking spots. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? What is that? What is so special about that spot?
Is it close to like the cart corral or something?
No, the cart corral is actually here.
Oh, okay.
Huh. This spot is, both of these spots are closer than where he ended up parking.
It's weird.
It is weird, right?
People are fucking strange. Yeah.
What would be the point of parking there?
No, like if I'm parking like a Walmart or a Sam's Club or something like that, I usually try to get strategically close to the car corral so I don't have to worry about like walking the fucking thing a mile away.
Yes.
And that's just my mental. That's just me being
over
mental.
Time, that's the secret good spot. Close to the cart corral. We're not dicks.
Walk a mile away.
We're not dicks. I'm not just going to leave the cart.
No. And I won't just leave it there. No, you're right. But yeah, I don't wait for spots. That's like going to fucking community college and you have to wait. You're trying to find a spot and you're like waiting for people to back out.
The only time where it is actually is Aldi because you have to bring the cart all the way. They don't have cart corrals. You got to bring it all the way back in.
Correct.
So you'd want to park as close. But if anywhere else, parking next to the cart corral, that's the real life hack. Because then you can just put them and go. We're not savages here. We put the carts back.
Regardless of where you park, too. I mean,
I couldn't understand why this dude was waiting for so he could back in.
It's so weird. Very strange.
Yeah, it's very strange. People are fucking weird. I don't understand. They've gotten weirder in COVID times.
I can't tell you the last time I waited for a spot.
I've waited, but only because there might not have been another spot around.
Well, yeah, Walmart is generally like that. If you go to like a Walmart
is always like that. Walmart has like 8,000 handicap spots too.
I know. I don't get that either. But
where was I? Where did we go? And I was like, wow, there's a lot of handicap spots here. Oh, I remember what it was. I had to get a new badge for work.
Yeah.
And we went to a different place where I would normally get one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, there's a lot of handicap spots here. Like a lot of handicap spots here. And it's like looking around like this is like Walmart level of handicap spots here. I don't know why they have so many. And they have so many pickup spots that nobody ever seems to use.
Just strange. I don't know.
It is strange. Like Aldi has 4, I think, by me. And I never see anybody in them.
No, it's like 3 or 4 for where I work. But mine's also in like a strip mall kind of thing. So it's a little bit different.
So is mine.
But so like for mine, you see people just leave part of the carts in the parking lot because they don't want to walk all the way back.
It's a quarter. You know how many times I've left Aldi with more quarters than what I came in?
Well, yeah, of course. People don't understand how that even works. They don't.
People are stupid.
People are really stupid.
Parts in from like next door, which is Big Lots. Fucking ruin it for everybody when you do shit like that. Idiots.
You hold up the fucking line. You have to use that cart. It's just a pain in the fucking balls. And don't get me started on fucking Instacart assholes. taking fucking
Hello,
forever.
Instacart. You can get your
5
groceries delivered in as little as 60
We're not
minutes.
sponsored by them. We're never really sponsored by them anymore.
We were part of the affiliate marketing program for Instagram. It took a long time to get approved, by the way.
But we're not
for that.
anymore. But we're not
No, we
anymore.
still are. We just don't
Oh, never
promote it
mind.
anymore because nobody used it.
Well, yeah, don't use it. The people who do the Instacart shopping for you are the weirdest, laziest, dumbest fucking people on the face of the earth.
It has to depend on the area that you're in.
No,
Come
I mean I'm in a pretty nice area. This is not a low
on.
income
Are you
area.
though? Are you?
It's not a low income
At the end
area.
of the day, it's still Florida.
Well, yeah, because Florida. But some of these people, they ask you a million questions. I don't have time for this shit.
But
Like,
I would
the
imagine
policy is like we don't walk them to anything. We don't tell them where anything is. They have to do their shit on their own. We're not personal fucking shoppers, so they have to do their own shit.
at
And
the
they
end of the
come up-
day, don't you think that the people from outside the nicer area would come into the nicer area for shopping,
Nah,
bigger
probably not.
tips and all that?
Maybe. But I mean, we get a decent amount of the same fucking people all the time, and they are just annoying. And they do multiple fucking orders with the same cart, and it confuses them, and it confuses us, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Doesn't when there's a pickup order, don't all the employees shop
No,
those
we
orders?
don't do curbside
Oh,
because
Really?
we don't have a curbside.
oh. Well, mine does.
Yeah, mine doesn't because we're in a strip mall.
So is mine.
And that like a full blown strip mall.
So is mine. It's not. Well, regardless, it's
Yeah.
still in a strip mall, but not like a very popular strip mall.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's in like an actual strip mall next to a Home Goods and an Ulta, and it's not like on the corner. or anything.
Fancy. That's a fancy strip mall you got there.
See, I told you we're not in a low income area or anything.
Mine is
Yours is next to a fucking Big Lots, bro.
a Big Lots, a Payless that closed, the movie theater,
There's a movie theater in this one.
Middle Eastern restaurant. I don't know what kind of a barber school and a rent-a-center or one of those rent-a-center kind of places.
Yeah, there's like two different kinds. I'm trying to think what the other one is. Rent a Center and what's the other one? Best yet. Best
Best
not.
That's the
No,
supermarket.
it's like best. What is it called? It's best something.
I don't know. It's what's the other rent-a-center place? It's bothering rent to own company. I don't actually think it's a rent-a-center. Magic.
No, what is it called? Aaron's.
Yes, that's it.
There's also I think there's another one too. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head though. But
Aaron's.
Aaron's and Rent a Center are the two prominent ones. I don't think I've ever set foot in one of those places.
I would. It's
I've
a ripoff. I would never.
I've never rented to own a TV or a couch.
I can understand like back in the day if you wanted to rent like a TV for a couple months just to have it for the Super Bowl and then return it. But TVs are so cheap now. Why even bother doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. And then I think
It's so expensive.
one of my brother's friends in Pennsylvania worked for Rent a Center, and you have to go repo that shit. Like if they don't pay the bill, you have to go repo that shit.
Yeah.
So that's the job I want. I'm gonna go repo redneck shit from people's houses.
Well, then
Is
you're in
that-
the wrong place.
I know. Thinking about it, I'm like, they probably don't pay enough though.
Okay, so here we go. They have a pinball table you can buy. Like I have, like the one I have.
Mhm.
Okay, I got it on sale. It was $600. They have it
Jesus.
rent. What?
Jesus, you bought a $600 pinball table?
It's like legit. It's like 3/4 size. It's pretty big.
Oh, okay. Nah, still,
It's
a pinball
a
table.
virtual pinball table. So anyway,
Wow.
you can buy this, right? While usually like $650, $700, maybe a little bit more depending on where you get it from.
Mhm.
You can own it or lease it $141.99 a month for 18 months.
What?
$2,555.82.
What's the payoff amount? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't. You can buy this product for this price. The product is $1,600. What? I really? You want to buy mine? I'll sell it to you for cheaper than that. Like what the fuck? That's insane. Nowhere
Rent.
on earth does it cost that much except at a rent-a-center. The same goes for like a PlayStation 5. You want to buy a PS5? $158 a month. Their cash price, if you want to walk out with it, is $1,800.
How the fuck does that even work?
I don't know how that's legal. I don't know. It's definitely like fucking. You're preying on people who don't have any money or are terrible with money. I don't know which is worse.
Both. It's like equally as bad.
So I mean, I know how much games. And by the way, these may or may not be brand new. They probably are not.
Probably not brand new, honestly.
I just can't imagine paying that much money. That's just insane to me. That's just for those. Like, what are some of these things? Like TVs are a 75-inch TV, $105 per month.
How
For
much is that?
24 months.
That's $2,400 right there.
Right. So the cash price on a 75-inch TV sounds pretty good. It's $1,478.
Yeah.
But the brand is Skyworth. Have you ever heard of
What the fuck is
Skyworth?
Skyworth?
I've never heard of a Skyworth TV. It's fucking wild. I've never heard of what I don't even know what it is. What is a Skyworth TV? It's just like the electronics brands at Walmart. They're like on or own ONN.
So I'm on firstclasstvs.com and they have a Skyworth 65-inch OLED 4K Android TV for $2,400.
When OLED is very expensive.
So what is that? Is that TV OLED that they're selling?
No, it's just a regular LED or LCD. It's not an OLED. OLEDs are really expensive. I don't like. It's either a Samsung or this Sky. I've never heard of Skyworth before.
Here's a what the fuck? I've never heard of this brand name before. Here's another one. OLED TV, $3,700 for a Skyworth TV. What the fuck is Skyworth?
I don't know. I've never heard of Skyworth. It sounds fake to me. Like it's rebranded TV. The Chinese TV.
Skyworth 32-inch E-Series Full HD TV, $330. It says Prison TV Skyworth 13-inch, $49 on eBay.
Nice.
What the fuck is a Prison TV?
And like you can get home decor rent to own as well.
You can get anything from them, like washing machines, couches.
Would you rent to own a rug, a 9x12 rug?
How would you rent to own a fucking rug?
Why would you like? I can understand if you were staging a house or something.
I guess you might as well just go buy a fucking rug from like Walmart or something.
It's 9x12 polyester rug, so it's not like super fancy or whatever. $75 a month for a rug. I don't even my car insurance is like $75 a month. Wow, I never actually looked at the prices, but that is just ridiculous.
So apparently, this company Skyworth has to be based out of like it's Sichuan. I don't know. I can't even pronounce it.
In Shenzhen, China, which
Shenzhen,
is where
China.
a lot of other electronics companies are.
Fucking weird. Never heard of this company before.
I have never heard of it either, but they probably have a deal with fucking Rent-A-Center where they sell a $600 TV for $1,700 and then still make money on top of that.
Fuck yeah.
Don't if you're ever in desperate need, you're better off dealing without something and then saving up to actually buy what you need. Always. Even if it's a bed, you can sleep on a fucking air mattress. They're not that expensive.
And I mean, most of these places now too, like you go to GhostBed or Big Fig or any of these other companies, they'll do financing with you. That's super fucking cheap. Like we didn't do financing on ours, but I mean, you could have paid like $40 a month. I mean, it would have been cheap as shit. They're not going to take it away. I mean, and it's also there's no interest for most of them. You know, they don't charge you interest. So
a lot of places will treat you pretty good. I just, man, this place is just this fucking guy. We're in the wrong business, man. Like I should be doing this.
We should be doing like Aaron's work. We should start Marc and JD's Rent-A-Center. Oh no, we got to name it something different than Rent-A-Center. Marc and JD's. You pay, we give it to you, but it's more expensive.
That's way too long of a name. That's the worst name I ever heard.
Marc and JD's Rent to Own Rent to own. Mark and JD's rent to own. There you go. For
We will call it MJRTO. Mark and JD's rent to own. And welcome to MJRTO, where we can sell you something for 4 times the price of what it would actually cost. Actually, more than 4.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I mean, that's way more. Way more. Yeah, I don't even think I've been inside a rent-a-center.
I don't know anybody that's ever rented a rent-a-center or anything. Wow, they have lots of weird things you can rent to own, like sewing machines. And
it is. It's called Best Way.
You can buy previously leased products.
There's another one. It's called Best Way, rent to own. I don't. There was one in North Carolina. Best Way,
the worst way to own things.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, there's one. There's a rented place. It's called Best Way. It looks ghetto as shit too. By the way, hang on. If you type in Best Way, you look at the picture. It looks like something that you would see like in 1975 sign. It's terrible. I would share it to you. But
so if you want to get access to their special offers. Oh, I see what it is. It makes it seem like you got to pay for their newsletter, but it's access to $1 gets you started now. That's what you get. Wow, that looks really shady as shit. Holy shit. I can see like renting a lawnmower for a couple months if you're going to be if you're on your temporary housing or something. Yeah. Like there are places where renting something makes sense. Okay. I'm not going to say that you should never ever rent to own things. Really though, you're not renting. You don't need to rent to own. You need a place where you can rent something for a couple months because you happen to be living, traveling for work or whatever for a couple weeks, a month, couple months. And I could see where that would make sense.
And if you break it, you fucking buy it. I mean, that's generally how it works.
Yeah. And then if something were to happen, like, I don't know what happens if a TV breaks and they say, oh, well, you know what? You're at fault. You got to pay the whole fucking amount after 2 months of having it. You're fucked, man.
What are they going to repo? I mean, you can't take anything back. I would just not pay it.
They're going to charge you that full amount. It's fucking, you're fucked.
I just wouldn't fucking pay it. I mean, thankfully I've never had to rent to own anything, and I've never had to layaway anything, which is generally the same thing. Layaway and rent to own.
I've done layaway only to the fact that they hold your shit. So for Christmas, it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
It wasn't because I couldn't afford it. It was because they held it and I didn't have to worry about it. And I just throw a couple bucks every couple weeks.
Never lay away at anything. Do they still have that?
Not many places still do it. We did it at Toys R Us because it was big. It was something big, and we didn't want to bring it home because I didn't really have any spot for it back when we lived in our townhouse. Now I could hide it anywhere
on the roof.
Me and my giant house,
Yeah, don't sound modest or anything, Mark.
No, I mean it's a huge house. I want to downsize because it's too big. Anywho, don't rent to own. Just don't do it.
Don't do it. I don't know how the hell we got there, but we got there somehow. But
we were talking about what's in the Strip.
Oh yeah.
And also, those places I don't remember them ever really existing in New York. But they could have, just not in our areas because we were in relatively middle income areas.
Yes, I mean we're in an poor area or anything, unless you went to like Amityville. I'm sure they're there now. Let's be honest. At the center. There is one. Shit, that's not even close. Amityville, Freeport, and Bayshore. Of course, there are.
For people who don't know, those are there are parts of those towns that are very much lower income.
East areas. Patchogue,
yeah,
Huntington Station. Yeah, I would say those are pretty low income areas.
Yeah,
there's a few.
There's a few, but like we were never in those areas for good reason. Some of them are not necessarily in the safest areas. You imagine being a repo guy? They probably had to deal with getting threats all the time. You really want to do that?
No, that shit's bad.
You want to be the kind of repo guy that like sneaks in the middle of the night, takes somebody's car, and then laughs the whole way back to the yard.
And then they get
there. That's the kind of repo guy you want to be.
That's the kind of repo guy I would want to be. Yeah, just repo somebody's car in the middle of the night. And then get shot at from behind. Yeah.
Like a ninja, just like quiet and shit.
Quiet. Yeah, I'd have to hotwire somebody's car. I'm assuming you only get if
Hot
you.
wire cars anymore.
Well, I mean, older cars you could, but not newer cars. But who the hell? Like, how would you even? So if you, I guess they repo a car. They have to have a key, right?
No,
How do they get the car away?
they fucking tow it.
Yeah, but don't you have to put it
You
in
ever
neutral?
watch like repo car shows or whatever?
No, I don't watch that shit. I have more better stuff to watch than that.
Yeah, they just take it away. They just fucking put it on a trailer, or they, depending on the car, like you shouldn't. For an all-wheel drive car, you got to put it on a full trailer. Otherwise, you're going to destroy the car.
But don't you have to put it in neutral to pop it up on something or
I
out
don't
of
know.
park? Yeah, I don't know how that works. That's my question. Like, I don't know anything about cars. So, like, if you're gonna tow somebody's car away or repo somebody's car,
I mean,
would
it
assume
helps, I think, but I
So,
think they could do it without it.
I mean, do the back wheels still move the cars in park? We need a mechanic to tell us.
I
answer
don't
that
know. This is
question.
welcome to We're Not Mechanics with Mark and JD.
No idea.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about cars. All I know is that right now I'm laughing because I drive an electric car and I don't have to pay ridiculous prices for gas.
Yeah, it sucks.
How much is it by you? It's $4.20 here.
It's $4, about $3.99.
Fucking ridiculous. I'm not going to go into the whole.
No,
I'm not going to go into that. But
no, I don't want to get killed by Russians.
What we could go into is baseball.
You're frozen.
Is apparently going to agree to all these different rule changes coming soon. They want 14 teams in the playoffs, which I think is ridiculous. I fucking like. Why does everybody have to take half the league in the playoffs?
I mean, that makes it not as special, I guess. Like I told my brother, I'm like, if they never brought baseball back again, at least we end on a high note where the Braves are the champions.
I guess they want to outlaw the shift,
which I mean you're against, but I don't really give a shit either way. The shift kind of is just a weird strategic move in baseball. That's about 10 years old now, give or take.
They want larger bases.
Why?
Well, the larger bases would make sense in context, like for first base, so that you don't accidentally step on the dude's foot.
Well, I guess that's true. But then how big are these bases going to be? Like,
I
how much?
would assume like it would be on the outside of the line where you wouldn't have to worry about that happening, where the bases would be bigger. But they should do what they do in like softball, which is I think they have like a double base.
Like a bigger base?
No, it's like a double base, like on first base.
I don't know. Never played softball.
Like you never even see. It's like it's two things so that you don't have to step on the one. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
Like orange and white, that thing?
Oh, it's not necessarily. It doesn't have to be orange and white.
But no, but that's is that what it's like?
Yeah, you googled it.
Yes, I googled it.
Googled it. I know you did. It's okay. We'll talk about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So for anybody out there who's watching, this is what I'm talking about. It looks like this.
Yeah. Okay.
So you only have to.
Never
you only
seen
have
that
to
before.
cover. Yeah, you only have to cover the one base. You only have to cover there, and then somebody can step on the other half. That way, nobody's actually breaking ankles and shit.
So is that only for like the first base line?
That's in my context. That's what I understood it as, but maybe in other bases they want to do the same. In second base, I don't know how you could do that anywhere else.
So I mean that makes sense in that context. Though if they're running down, the first base line, and obviously it's on the outside of the foul line, because you can run outside the base path when you're running down first base. Mm-hmm. So if that's there, that makes sense. It's fine. I mean, I can understand that. Only for first base, though.
I feel like it's something they should have done a long time ago. To me, if I'm being honest,
I mean,
all it does is it doesn't really hurt the integrity of the game. All it really does is prevent injuries. Really, this is what it's going to end up looking like.
Well, it doesn't even have to be that big, really. It really doesn't have to be that big.
And the orange or the whatever color, it blends in so it doesn't look like it, but it's so that nobody's getting stomped on by accident. Or when you go to try to make a cover, the pitcher's trying to cover first. Things like that.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. But I mean, I don't care about that either. Fuck.
I don't like the shift. They want to do a pitch clock as well, which I actually do agree with the pitch clock.
There's some slow ass pitchers out there.
Yes.
That take
They
way
also
too
going
long
to
to throw the
do
ball.
universal designated hitter, which I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
It
Although
helps. It actually helps and hurts the Mets at the same time because they actually have good hitting pitchers, but also better than most teams, so that they're not an automatic out. But they do have some players that would benefit from being in the DH all the time.
well, I mean that's true too for the Braves. Like if Ozuna actually does come back, which I mean I feel like he's going to be able to at some point. He'll be a DH, or you have whoever comes back to the Braves. There's guys that should not be playing the field.
Mhm.
Obviously,
They
but
want to
also
do lottery for top picks
like basketball.
only for a certain amount. Like
Okay.
MLB's proposal is the top 5 picks.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the players union is lottery for the top 6 picks. But it's just confusing. It's anti-tanking rules.
Yeah. I mean, I get that to a degree. I just think they're just like nitpicking on stupid shit. I'm okay with the universal DH. I don't really care about that. The bases, whatever. I don't care about that either. The shift, I don't really even care about personally.
I
just
do. I care about the shift.
I just
As a
like we talked
baseball
about it
purist,
earlier.
if you're a professional hitter, you should be able to hit the ball to the other side for a hit. You do it enough times, and they're going to stop shifting against you. The best
No,
hitters don't really get shifted on that much.
true.
You think
True.
anybody's shifting against Mike Trout?
No, but he hits to all fields anyway. He's always hit to all fields, so that doesn't
Left
matter.
hand, left. This predominantly is going to increase the value of any left-handed hitter.
Yep.
Freddie's going to be like, "You want to no shift? You're going to have to fucking pay me now."
He's gonna hit 80 home runs and 85 doubles.
It's just
Shit,
going to hit more singles.
all over the place.
And that's really what the shift does. It just takes away singles in between, first and second, that little hole there, or
Well, like I
up
was
the
saying,
middle.
if you're shifting on a left-handed hitter, you're obviously shifting your whole shit to the that side of the field. It leaves open a whole gaping hole on the other side. The third baseline is pretty much empty. There's nobody there. They're all shifted over. So like if you can hit it, pull your back leg back, and you could hit it down that line, and you get a double every time, pretty much, depending on who you are. I'm not saying Prince Fielder could have done a double every time, but predominantly most power hitters who hit for average or whatever can probably get a double every time. Freddie Freeman isn't probably the quickest guy in the world, but he could get a double every time. Hit the ball down the line.
Probably down the line. I think. To me, it just seems silly to do that. But what do I know? What do I know? I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm trying to pull up the spray charts, and they don't seem to want to be working right now.
I'm wondering who has the most shifts against them.
Most shifts against which players? Oh, that's from a couple years ago. Here we go. I got it here. The team I can tell you the team that made the most shifts was the Dodgers on 54% of plays last year. They shifted.
Jeez.
Including 68% versus left-handed hitters.
Holy crap.
But they don't the Astros shifted on 82% of left-handed at bats. By the way, the Braves were 4th.
Yeah,
39%.
They do a lot of shifting. I don't know. It's weird. That I don't know. It doesn't affect me either way. I really don't care. Like if we're gonna change the bases and give an extra base so that nobody gets their ankle broken, fucking just take the shift away. I don't care. I just want baseball back. I don't care what it takes to get it back. I just want baseball back.
March 7th when we were recording this. So if you're listening to this in the future, know that it's March 7th. They're not even close to an agreement. Spring training should have started by now.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's at spring training, and it's just going to be it's another season affected by bullshit.
Opening day's canceled, right?
The first 2 series have been canceled.
Yep.
It's just another day affected by bullshit. How many years is Jacob deGrom's career going to get fucked over?
And I hate to say this because it may or may not be 100% true, but Rob Manfred is kind of a douchebag.
Oh, no, he's not kind of. He is.
I feel like Bud Selig would have handled this a little bit better. And he made some questionable decisions to like look the other way while Maguire and Sosa were hitting fucking mammoth home runs, juiced up to the gills, and Barry Bonds and all this shit. Like
It
he just
wasn't just, by the way, it wasn't, we always say just those two. It was not just
no,
those
no,
two. There
no,
were plenty other
no.
dudes
But
juicing.
those are the guys
It just didn't hit
like Roger
60.
Clemens, like Andy Pettitte,
Ken
all these guys.
Caminiti.
Rest in peace.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
You're talking to a lot of guys. I don't know what would he have done, but whatever. They spent 2 months doing dick all. They locked him out. They didn't even, no offers were made. Nothing. Nothing. They intentionally made it like this. They wanted to make the players seem like the bad guy. Oh, they don't want to deal. They don't want to deal. But you know what? People are too smart in this day and age to buy that bullshit anymore.
nope.
They cry poverty.
You know what though? I will say this, and this is it's not a good thing, but it kind of buried that story with Matt Harvey and stuff. It kind of buried that. You don't see
Yeah.
as much news about it anymore. And lucky for him, because he's probably going to get suspended anyway for all the shit that happened with what's his name? Fuck, I can't remember.
But
Tyler Skaggs.
Tyler Skaggs.
Tyler
Yeah.
Skaggs. So I mean, he's pretty much. I want to say he's like 100% to blame for that, but he's got a pretty good amount of blame. And he's probably going to get suspended.
I mean, talk about suspending.
Yeah,
Oh,
he might just be donezo, honestly, with baseball.
maybe.
I mean, it's a very real possibility.
Let's flip flop from one sport to the other. We're talking about suspending. Calvin Ridley
Yes, Calvin
suspended
Ridley.
the entire season for betting on football games. Why is he betting on football games?
Because he's an
The
idiot.
dude was going to make $11 million next year. What are we betting on football games for? Now, he was always betting them on. He was betting in parlays in which he was betting on the Falcons to win, which is good. He wasn't trying to throw anything, but still, why are you betting? Why? I just don't understand why you felt the need. You can bet on any other sport besides your own, right? I'm pretty sure they could.
Yeah.
So why do that? Now he's suspended. Nobody's going to touch him again.
He actually only played 5 games last year. I didn't know that. I thought
He
played
took
more
like
than
a
that.
mental health break because of this investigation. They found it out. And Atlanta, he sent some really weird tweets.
Yeah, I know. I saw
a couple days ago, starting like football is life, a laughy face emoji, and I learned from my L's, and everyone was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Because he took a mental health break. That's what it was. That's what they said it was. Meanwhile, Atlanta's out there denying, they're like, no, we don't want to trade him. They knew the whole season.
So he actually recently tweeted within the hour. His last he wrote, I bet 1,500 total. I don't have a gambling problem. And then he tweeted, I couldn't even watch football at that point. Just gone. Be more healthy when I come back. I know I was wrong, but I'm getting 1 year. LOL. What a douchebag.
$1,500. Really? I don't buy that.
No.
I mean, granted, on my Twitter, I'd see nothing but ads for DraftKings and FanDuel and sports betting. I get it. They're out there. They're everywhere. But I believe that's part of the training that all the NFL players have to go to is like that shit like that. And he's a first round pick. So he went through all those extra trainings. I just don't get it. I bet 15. I don't have a gambling. You have a gambling problem. It cost you. You bet $1,500 that it wasn't going to cost you $11 million.
Idiot.
So he's the only person he's the only person I've ever known that only bet $1,500 but ended up losing $11 million.
Somebody posted on MLB trade rumors, like the anti-trade rumors, posted Joey Gallo now that the shift is banned, and it's just a picture of Barry Bonds. That's fucking funny, actually. Calvin Ridley's a moron. He's actually a good player. I don't know what his deal is. He seems a little off.
It's something about wide receivers that just seems a little off every time. Every time. Like they're the biggest prima donna. So when you get a guy that doesn't seem like a prima donna, like an Andre Johnson, Calvin Johnson, they don't seem like Cooper Kupp. They're not prima donnas. I don't feel like.
No, Cooper Kupp seems.
But if they start getting prima donna-ish, something's up.
Right.
Like Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown being a fucking moron. Although I love when the Tampa Bay Bucks lost and he posted that picture. The Bucks are out of it or
There's
whatever.
definitely more to that story there.
Oh, I know. There's some, and then you see like what Bruce Arians said because there was a lot of rumors about Tom Brady coming back to play for somebody else. He's like, "There's no fucking way he's gonna play for anybody else if he comes out of retirement. There's no
I'm
fucking way.
shocked he retired. He could probably play another year.
He could probably play another fucking 10 years, dude. He's healthier than I am.
I don't know what the deal was. He's like, "Well, I lost. I'm done now, dude."
No,
He got
I don't. I think
that's 7 Super Bowl rings.
I don't think that's part. I don't think that's it. Honestly, I think he's just fucking done with it.
Is
I
he?
can't
Is he
say
the?
I blame
Is he the
him.
goat?
Uh,
He doesn't hold
yes, probably.
any major passing records. I don't think.
Mm, but he has.
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, like he has Super Bowl wins, yes, and he has a lot of most career Super Bowl and playoff things. But like most quarterback wins, okay. Most starts, okay.
He has
Passing completions, he does have most career touchdowns
okay. So Tom Brady ranks first of all.
and
This is
yards.
just from
Okay,
Google.
he does. He does own everything.
Wins.
I'm
He
wrong.
has 243 wins, 15 Pro Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVP awards, 316 starts.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm wrong.
Don't
mind me.
84,000 passing yards. Yeah, I would say my favorite thing that they did was post like his win-loss record against every team. And it's like no comparison. There's like he hasn't like they showed like teams in the NFC that he barely played, and he only played for the Bucks for 2 years, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to put this on there. If you're going to do it, put it up against the AFC teams like that he played against, like the Dolphins, the Jets. You know, he had 23-7 record against the Jets. I mean, it's insane.
He's the greatest of all time, right? Like he's the best football player of all.
It begrudgingly going to say yes because I hate Tom Brady.
I mean, I hate Tom Brady too, and as a Jets fan, we were responsible for his entire career. So thank you. You're welcome, Mr. Brady.
Mo Lewis is still,
yes.
he's shunned and he's not allowed to be a Jet.
Tom Brady be tipping Mo Lewis. He's definitely I can't think of any other type of dominance in any other sport in the modern era.
And the funniest thing was too is that he left New England, left Belichick,
and won. It wasn't Belichick.
It wasn't Belichick. He is just that damn good. I mean, and it pains me to say it because I hate him so much. And I actually was a Bledsoe fan for a long time, but
I'm not talking greatest. I'm not talking greatest quarterback of all time. I'm talking greatest football player of all time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I would say yes, probably. I mean, you talk about it's weird if you break it down that way. You have like guys like Jerry Rice. You have guys like Randy Moss. Who are really good at their positions. So you can greatest football player of all time is a stretch maybe because there's probably better guys or better athletes.
I don't know. They did it as long and as good as he did.
I mean, he's basically he probably is the greatest football player of all time. I would imagine.
If you go from the year, if you take out the first 6 years of his career, say before he started like the 16-0 season that they had, the undefeated season, which by the way, how many quarterbacks can say they've had an undefeated season?
Insanity.
You take out every season before that. He played 222 games, including that season. He was 173-49. That's fucking crazy. That was 63,000 yards since that. That was the year when he turned it on. He was 30 that year. He still played. That was 14 years ago.
I wonder who holds the record.
And he got hurt one year too. Remember, he missed a whole year.
All right, let's see.
The most losses he ever had in the season was 7.
God. Most losses?
Yes.
Yeah.
In any single season was 7. And that was his first full season in the NFL. I also believe that was the last time before last year that a team had won the AFC East. That was 2002.
It's crazy.
I was reading a thing the other day about Wayne Gretzky, and I know we don't really talk about hockey, but Wayne Gretzky was just the greatest hockey. He would have if he
was.
never scored one goal. I used to think maybe 20 years ago that would we ever see that kind of dominance in sports again with the amount of just the modern day culture of sports where people are born and they play for years before they even make a professional team. The level of Gretzky and Jordan, that dominance. I never thought we would see that level of dominance again, but we did.
Yeah. I mean, and we'll probably live to see it again, I'm sure, at some point. Somebody else will
Will
come
we,
along.
though? I always feel like
people flame out a lot more.
Something else.
Like, people flame out now. Like, I mean, look at, I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson are going to flame out, but they also, Tom Brady never really had a bad year. You know, he played, 20 years, and he never really had a really bad year. There was a few years where he wasn't Tom Brady. You know, he was off. You know, I know Garoppolo played and his backups played or whatever. You know, so, but like, can you compare him?
Never threw more than 14 picks in a season.
You know, so I mean, he never, like, how many, you look at like a guy like Patrick Mahomes who just didn't have a great beginning of the year, and it pretty much, I'm not saying it cost them. They went to the playoffs, obviously, but they had to like fight for that. They had to fight to get through the rest of the season and actually come back because the beginning of their season was garbage. So, I mean, like, that wouldn't happen predominantly to like a Tom Brady's led team, you know? Lamar Jackson, too, had a shitty year last year, from what I remember.
I think he was hurt.
He might have been hurt for part of it. Yeah, he was hurt, I think, for a little bit of the year. So, I mean like,
Brady's missed games. He's not an Iron Man, you know, he's missed games.
No, yeah. He's not Lou Gehrig, you know? But, and then, you look at, I forget I was watching something today, and it was something like Lamar Jackson wants to be a billionaire or something like that. I'm like, I don't see him being a guy who gets paid $1 billion.
I don't see it happening in football. I see guys, they want to win a title, maybe two, and then they retire. They're retiring earlier than ever.
Why do you need it? If you're getting paid that shit ton of money, you don't really need to play that long anymore.
Right. And they know the health risks involved.
Oh yeah, CTE.
I just don't see in football. Maybe other sports. Everybody thought LeBron was going to be the next Jordan. LeBron, yeah, he's won 4 titles now, but he's also lost more than he's won.
And he also kind of he's trailing off into the sunset now at this point, you know. And he's not as good as Jordan was. Jordan can come out and just score points, man. That dude was just and he also knew how to make the people around him better.
That's the biggest difference.
That's the key. That's why you can compare Tom Brady and Michael Jordan together. Michael Jordan made everybody on that Bulls team for the first 3 championships. He made them all those nobodies. He made them better. I'm not talking about Scottie Pippen or Horace Grant, but the James Paxtons of the world. He made them better players because he was there. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady made Wes Welker into Wes Welker. He made Gronkowski into Gronkowski. He made all these guys into these players. Like, what was it, Danny fucking Woodhead? I mean, of all fucking people, like literally, like, to Danny fucking Woodhead, you can make Danny fucking Woodhead a good football player, then you deserve to be called the greatest of all time, probably. You know, and Michael Jordan, yeah, he probably shouldn't have went to play baseball. That was a dumb decision, but we could have been, Fringe. I thought about this the other day because you were watching Fringe, and I meant to bring it up on the podcast and I forgot. But wouldn't it be an awesome little side part where Tom Brady, instead of getting drafted by the Patriots, actually went to play baseball for the Astros, or not the Astros, the Expos?
There's a lot of what ifs about that, man.
That would be really, really fucking cool, actually, if they did a little side part on that, or like if Nirvana was still alive, or Kurt Cobain was still alive, like that kind of shit. I wish they would have explored more of that.
I want to get into that right here. Let me wrap it up here because you brought that up. But I do want to point out that Michael Jordan never lost the finals. 6-0. LeBron James is 4-6 in the finals.
Yep, because he doesn't make the people around him better. And
I've seen an increase of people saying online that LeBron is better all time than Jordan. I'm sorry, but no.
Nope. 6-0.
No.
And you know what? He used the people around him. He used them. He knew what their strengths were. He knew how to use them. Mm-hmm. I mean, he had great coaching too. Don't get me wrong.
He played in a different era where defense was fucking harder than it is now. And they would fucking hit you and beat you.
I mean, I think Kobe Bryant on his worst day was probably better than LeBron James. Kobe Bryant
Oh,
was
that's a tough one.
Kobe Bryant was a great basketball player, though,
He
and
never
he made
made
the
his
people
team
around him better, though.
always. Not always.
Yeah, but I mean, he had some shitty teams around him too. But
I
in
think he
those,
only won one without Shaq.
I don't know. But I know he won that one year when it was Gasol and I'm trying to think of else. Bynum was on the team, I think, and he made those guys.
They won two without Shaq.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying he's Jordan. Nobody's Jordan. I
But
mean,
he
come on.
did finish 5-2 in the finals.
I mean,
Sorry, four. Like he'd have to win 3 championships to have a winning record in the finals.
what they played the Mavericks, and the Mavericks. I think that one year where they lost, they played the Mavericks, and the Mavericks were fucking hot. Dirk was just on fire the whole series. I think that was one of those years, and they had some fucking great series against the Celtics.
But he left to go team up with other guys because he couldn't do it by himself. You
Yeah.
think Jordan would have left to go team up with Charles Barkley and John Stockton?
No. So
No.
that's the thing. It's like you work hard. You don't just take the easy route. I'm not taking my talents to South Beach. Mark, I hate to tell you this. I'm taking my talents to somewhere else.
You gonna leave me for another podcast? You asshole.
I got to make the people around me better. No, I need to find better people to make me better.
I'm removing you. You get out of here. I'm putting you off. It's just me now. It's just me now. I don't think you could hear me when I was yelling, could you?
I did. It's just me now. It's just me.
Okay.
I heard you.
Okay. Anyway, you mentioned and we'll wrap it up here. You mentioned Nirvana.
Yes. The band that doesn't hold up.
No, well, see, the problem is a lot of their best songs they never play on like radio.
I can slightly agree with that.
They'll play them, but also a song like "Rape Me" is not really
radio friendly.
It's not very radio friendly. It's also a good song.
Not in the Me Too movement either.
They only put out 3 albums.
Yeah,
3 albums while he was alive.
And only really, I think the first one's the one that really got all the media or the radio play.
The second one.
Was that Nevermind?
Yes.
Okay, then the second one, yeah.
Because they had Bleach came out in 89, Nevermind came out in 91, and In Utero came out in 93. And In Utero's got some really good songs on it, but they didn't really have a lot of play on the radio.
Wasn't a mainstream kind of album.
Heart-Shaped Box is a fantastic song. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anywho, the conspiracy theory out there that Kurt Cobain didn't kill himself.
This has been a conspiracy theory for 20 fucking years now at this point.
30 years, by the way. 30 years. It's just about 30 years almost. Yeah. We're almost on the 30th anniversary of him killing himself, which was a 94 or so.
Dude ate a shotgun, man. I mean, he killed himself.
So all of the ones center on Courtney Love, right? I read somebody yesterday was like, Dave Grohl is responsible because he wanted to be famous. And I was like, my mind was blown. Not because it's like, oh, it makes sense, but because it's like the dumbest conspiracy theory I've ever heard.
Oh, so dumb.
He wanted to be like, it doesn't make any sense.
It sounds like a movie Gus Van Sant would make.
Dave Grohl is musical, but he never needed it. He never needed to go out and do it. He just plays music.
He plays every instrument. That first Foo Fighters album played every instrument.
He's on so many albums that you don't even know.
Oh, I know.
You don't even know that he's on.
No, he just plays whatever he just does what he wants to do. I'm pretty sure he is a major cokehead.
He's clean.
I don't know. He's just got too much energy for a dude his age.
I mean, I don't think he's a cokehead. Yes. He doesn't have that look. He's let's see here. In a 2008 interview, he said he'd never done coke, heroin, or speed, and stopped doing LSD and smoking weed at age of 20.
Oh, okay. So 30 years of probably not doing anything. Good for him. I don't know. The dude's super fucking talented, obviously. I mean, there's no joke there.
There are so many. How many times did you not know he was on an album, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, he plays drums."
What was he on? Queens of the Stone Age, right?
He's on the Queen. He's the Tenacious D drummer.
It's fucking crazy.
He's basically the Queens of the Stone Age drummer. He's just on so many different things that I just don't think that he ever really needed to kill Kurt. Like, what would that? They didn't he didn't immediately become a star. It was like a couple years until the Foo Fighters really hit it big.
Yeah, like what would have happened if he just left Nirvana anyway? Like whatever, they would have found a new drummer. It's not like the drumming in Nirvana was very unique anyway, or any of that shit. So he could have just left. And what are they gonna like? Not let him do other music? It's not like those fuckers didn't have a contract or anything,
No.
and he could have done side projects or whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
All right,
every
here's
band
some
does
other. He does the drums on "It's All About the Benjamins," the rock remix with Puff Daddy.
Oh Jesus, that song is terrible.
He did drums for Tom Petty, and Tom Petty was going to ask him to be in his touring band. He said no.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. He did guitar on a David Bowie song.
Interesting.
He did drums on a Garbage song, drums on 9 Inch Nails songs. He did drums for Pete Yorn, drums for Prodigy.
Weird.
Drums on Zac Brown Band.
Very weird.
Yeah. Drums on a Halsey song.
Halsey drums in her songs?
What?
Halsey has drums in her songs? That's weird.
Apparently. I don't know. And then drums on a Liam Gallagher song.
The name of this podcast is Dave Grohl Plays Drums Here. Dave Grohl plays the drums.
Play us out, Dave. I didn't even know he co-wrote this song with Liam Gallagher.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know he had a song. It's called Everything's Electric.
Did you ever listen to the Disco Foo Fighters album or whatever they had?
Was it disco?
They released like a disco album.
I don't think it was a Foo Fighters album. Was it? I don't think it was like an official Foo Fighters album.
Yeah, Foo Fighters are releasing a disco album under a Bee Gees something.
Yeah, it was like a different name though. It wasn't
DGs.
It wasn't,
but it was them.
Wasn't it the GBs?
No, the DGs.
DGs? Is that what it is?
The DGs, yeah.
Is that out?
I think it's out.
I've never heard of it.
I never heard it. I heard of it. What's that? What's up with the a rock and roll comedy horror film called Studio 666? We never talked about this.
No, we have not.
Because he's gonna. I guess they're in it. I haven't seen
it. It's called Hail Satin.
The name of the movie?
No, the name of the album.
Oh.
It came out like last year.
Yeah, it did. July 17th. It's a live album.
Hail Satin. It's not just Dave Grohl. It's a whole Foo Fighters thing.
And they just cover a Bee Gees song.
Yeah. I would play it here, but I'm sure we would get
yeah, we get sued.
We get hit with a copyright claim on YouTube.
Yeah, for real.
Which of the Gallagher's is the bigger part of Oasis? I never remember.
I think it's not Liam. It's the other one, isn't it?
I don't know.
Is that Noel Gallagher?
Who's the original lead singer? That's the one that's a dick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Noel. I think Liam's the dick.
Well, yeah, he's the main one.
He's the co-lead. Yeah, Noel Gallagher is the co-lead vocalist. So he's the lead guitarist and the songwriter.
So you want to talk about overrated bands? Oasis is overrated.
Oh, but that album is so fucking good, though. I love that song.
What album? What's the story? Morning Glory?
I just like that album a lot. I always did. It's like
I
like pretty much all of the songs on it.
They put out nothing but trash since then.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're a good band by any stretch of the imagination, but they had that one album, and they were technically, I guess, a one-hit wonder at that point.
2 hits, I think.
What was the one after that? Be Here Now.
Champagne Supernova. There's another hit. Another hit, right?
Yeah. So like the second album had no songs on it. Definitely, maybe it was the first album, and that had Supersonic on it. I think was the okay song.
If you're talking U.S. charts, Wonderwall hit number 8. That's their highest one. Don't Look Back in Anger hit 55. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, Champagne Supernova was a big song. Got a lot of radio play. Don't Look Back in Anger.
Well, this was during that weird time when they weren't allowing. If it didn't get a physical release, it didn't chart. So some songs did actually hit higher. Some might say peaked at number 1 on the hot singles sales charts. That was a weird time in the 90s when they were, if you didn't have a physical single, they didn't count it.
Rolling
So,
Stone album guide gave it a 5 stars.
what?
And Rolling Stone
What's the
also gave it
story of
5.
Morning Glory?
Yeah.
That's their only good album. Their other
Oh
albums
yeah. Oh,
suck.
I know. And it probably is. It probably is a 5-star, honestly.
If they could
Everything
put
else
out an
sucks.
album of them farting and it would go to number 1 in the UK, I think.
Yeah, it would absolutely, because
If it was just literally, if it was just a cover, an album of nothing but them farting Beatles covers, it would go to number 1. Every album they've put out
has sucked pretty much.
Although they haven't put out an album in almost 15 years. In the
Yeah.
US, though, they had 2 albums hit the top 5. That's it. I'm sorry, 3 albums. 3 albums. Although, who really cares? Top 5 albums these days.
And they split up and they did their own shit, and they just don't have the same chemistry. You know,
I'm not a big Oasis fan.
they're not a big fan of each other. So I mean, it just kind of goes with the territory, I guess.
I mean, technically, they're both still in the band.
Yeah, but it's over. They're not even active anymore, right?
No, but they've been broken up for 13 years now.
Yep.
I don't know. I think they're just a wee bit overrated.
No, now they are for sure. I mean, that first album's really good, but now anything past that is I should say second album.
It wasn't their first album. That was their second album. That was their second album.
Yeah. So I mean, like, that is what it is. I mean,
they bought into their own. They bought into their own hype.
Well, there's a documentary about them that kind of basically says that. I forget the name of it. It was on Hulu, I thought.
I mean, over time, I think Blur has actually proven to be a little bit more instrumental in the music world than Oasis has.
Probably, but not as well known, I don't think.
Everybody knows song 2.
Well, yeah, that's the only one. Then there's another one. What's the other one? Cigarettes and coffee.
Park Life?
I don't know that one.
You don't know Park Life?
Nah, I'm not a big Blur guy. Never
you
was.
Probably know it if you heard it. Girls and Boys? You know that one, no? It's Coffee and TV.
Coffee and TV. I know that one for sure, yes.
But also Damon Albarn is Gorillaz.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know that. You didn't even know that.
No, I didn't. I don't listen to. I don't look at fucking Blur. I was never a Blur fan.
Yeah, he's the Gorillaz. Just him.
Yeah, that's another band that kind of overrated a little bit.
They have a lot of hits. They are the Nickelback. Too popular, too overplayed. The songs are everywhere.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Yep. Very overrated. Very overplayed. Saturated. Kind of like how Nirvana is for their hits that they had on that.
There's a whole channel called Lithium.
I know, and they play, and all they play is fucking Nirvana and other fucking shit from the '90s that they just overplay. It's a song all the time.
By Nirvana. It's literally named after the song.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't name. It's like they couldn't. We can't name it.
Just called it. It's called it grunge or some shit because that's all they play on there anyway. It's
pretty much
grunge music.
But that's really what it is. Like the whole station is named Lithium.
It's true.
Pretty much named after them. They primarily played Nirvana.
I listened to Alt Nation a lot when I had Sirius. I never really listened to that channel that much, unless there was a song I actually had like saved because my XM radio or whatever it was.
The songs they could play.
I know, but they used to be able to like select a song and save it, and it would come when it popped up. You can go to that channel, which is pretty cool.
Here we go. So let's see. I ended on this note. I have the station up. There's a site that plays every song that gets played on Lithium. Yeah, they have the charts, the which was played or whatever.
Lithium playlist or whatever.
The most played song in the last 30 days is Bulls on Parade. Which is kind of shocking.
That is kind of shocking, actually.
Why? Is it because of like all the controversy that's been going on?
I don't know.
I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Nirvana's not even in the top 50 here.
I mean, you have to think too, like that they take requests, I'm sure. And maybe it's evolved a little bit that it's just not the same shit anymore.
Where is the first Nirvana song? A lot of Green Day on here.
Is this a legitimate playlist though?
Yes.
No, I mean like this says XM playlist. But it says
XM. This is everything that you could hear what's on now. It just pulls it from there.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, this seems about right though. Bullet for oh god, the Smashing Pumpkins. It's another fucking
Okay,
band
so here
I'm not a
goes.
fan of.
No, Smells Like Teen Spirit has been played 60 times in the last 60 days. That doesn't seem right. One time a day, and I always hear it. Not I don't always hear it, but 60
So,
times. There's
so
not really
speaking,
that much of a difference between the number one at 72 and number 55 at 60.
true. So speaking of music, and we can actually end it here if you want. We went to the beach yesterday,
The
and
beach.
went to the beach. And so there, there's boats out there and shit like that, and they're pulling into the dock by the beach, and they're like the Spanish people playing music on their boat or whatever. It's fucking loud. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I know I may have said this before, but every Spanish song has the same beat. It's like I'm like, I turned to Haley. I'm like, if I wanted to hear the same fucking song over and over, I just listen to Pearl Jam.
Let's do a mashup there.
We probably
Some
could do a
Pearl Jam
mashup.
over a Latin beat.
Latin beats. Latin beats are all the
That'd
same.
be
Just
great,
the
right?
same. It's the same beat over and over every single time.
That's because it has a specific name.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but it drives me fucking crazy. I can't stand it.
I know, right?
All right. I guess we're done here. It's still
Oh,
daylight.
we're done here.
We're
It's
done
called.
here.
It's because it's reggaeton,
Reggaeton.
and they all have the same. That's the kind of music that they like.
I hate it so much. Same. Every song is exactly the same. Different words, same beat. How is that even legal? It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. How is it legal?
It's not legal. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. It's just an
Play us
overlay.
out, Jim.
What? I don't know. Play us out.
Play us out.
I'm gonna get fucking shot. We're on Twitter, Mark and JD.
Wait, hold on. Hold on a sec. Hold on.
Are you gonna play us out?
Hold on a second. Play us out, buddy.
You can find us on Twitter, Mark and JD. You can find us on TikTok. JD's mostly nice. Facebook, Mark and JD, and we're mostly on Twitch. And what's the other one? Where are we at? Where else?
Instagram.
Instagram, Mark and JD. Twitch. It's so distracting.
I turned it down for you.
Twitch.tv/Mark and JD. 95 beats per minute.
That's how fast. Yeah, there's a slower one. This is the one you probably hear more.
Makes me want to kill myself.
You can also find us on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast.
Stitcher, Amazon. Make sure you subscribe so you know when a new episode's up. We're just going to do the whole next episode with this in the background.
I don't think I can do it.
Why not?
Because it's already driving me crazy and it's been like a second. So bad.
Yeah.
That's 89 beats per minute. Good for them. Dropped it down a little bit.
This is your jam. I know you listen to it secretly.
So bad. All right, finish it. I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done.
That's why they all sound the same. So now you know. The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
This podcast, Dave Grohl played drums for us. You're good.
Yes, he did. He played the reggaeton. He played
the reggaeton drums. Dave Grohl plays drums on this one.
Talent would be so wasted playing reggaeton drums. But that would be funny just to have him do it.
It'd be funny.
All he has to do is play that one loop once, and then you can just use it over again and again and again, and boom, drums by
really funny if he was on like a like just some stupid TV show, and they were like, "All right, Dave, all we need to do is just play the reggaeton." He's like, "What? Just play the reggaeton?"
He's like, "Write it. Just
really,
write it.
Really." I mean, like, what the fuck?
Just
like,
one time, just one loop.
He should just be on Little Dicky. That would be the funniest part about it. If he just went on Little Dicky and did that.
On Dave.
Yeah, Dave. I still haven't watched the second season yet. I still haven't watched it.
We'll catch you next week.
Peace out.
Not the same time, not the same
probably not.
day, but next week. Never. Yeah, whatever. You know.
Good day.
I just want to say, I know we should end it, but if that beat was reggaeton on the way out, that would have been so much better.
Dude,
Anyway.
your shit froze a bunch of times during the show.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
we're
had
still on.
yeah, I know we were still on, but I had like I have 10 to 10 network connection. I don't know what the hell's
I
going
know.
on that.
Yours froze on me, so who knows?
Oh really? Yeah, I don't know.